Where has your curiosity gone? Yes. As kids, we ask a lot of questions. And research has shown after age of 4, those questions starts decreasing. Why? Only many of us may know why, and some of us may actually didn't realize. But we can see that sometimes as kids, when we ask questions, right? We go to our parents, why did that happen? How did that happen? And this is so many other questions, why and what and how and where, and all the curiosity in us. And then what happens? Sometimes the parents say, be quiet. You're asking too many questions. Stop asking so many questions. And so it gets embedded into us that we should not be asking so many questions or even ask any question. And this may grow. I'm saying this is just one issue. However, as kids, you know we were taught that curiosity kills the cat. And I could remember a story with a little girl who was asking her mother a whole lot of questions and the mother maybe got frustrated and she was like, curiosity kills the cat. And then the little girl took a step back and she was like, but mom, what was the cat curious about? And so that is something that I think we were born with the curiosity in us. And somewhere along the line, we got, you know, this kind of mentality now that asking questions is not a good thing, or we should not be asking questions. The kids go to school now, and what we see is that they're being taught information to swallow information and regurgitate. What I don't see happening a lot is that where teachers are instilling in the students to ask questions to the teachers, even allowing them to innovate, allowing them to grow, allowing them to be creative in learning so that they could propel and get better and understand things that are happening. I don't see that happening a lot. And the same thing is happening in in some of the classrooms where when the kids or the students ask a question, they're also being shut down. And so it comes to a point now where people stop asking questions. They grew up and they enter into the workforce, and what happened? They don't ask any question anymore, right? And that I can personally see how this is affecting the critical thinking of our people. They can't come up with solutions. They come into the workforce and they're not curious enough to ask why. Why are you doing this? Why do you have to maybe do your filing this way? Why do the team do this? Why does the company do this? And asking questions so that they could understand. When sometimes I have this a lot of time when something is there on a paper and I ask, okay, so what does this mean? Why is this there? And the people who are presenting to me don't know themselves. And I'm asking, so you're doing something, you don't even know what is it about. And this is just an example of what's happening, what's playing out in many companies, many organizations. And the questions open our thinking. It gives you a higher level of thinking that I find is very much lacking in many places or many persons, because they don't ask enough questions. They stop being curious. You also, how many questions do you ask yourself, right? Why don't when we ask we think that if I raise my hand to ask a question, I might sound stupid. You're in a meeting, you are maybe in the school, the kids, people, when they think that they're going to ask a question, they think that someone will laugh at them, or, they will feel shame or whatever it is, and they just don't ask. And sometimes, if you understand, is that it takes humility and confidence from someone to actually ask a question. When you ask a question, you get to learn, or you actually help somebody to see something in a different angle that they might not have seen it. Right? That, oh, I didn't think of that. So asking question, it brings out even better solutions. It's because we do not challenge each other, healthily challenge each other, not questions to pull people down, but asking enough of why. Why is this happening? And then when you find the answer, ask again, why did that happen? And then why did that happen? And some of us don't go beyond, we don't like questions. So if I may flip it too, is that you also don't like questions, and you may not like questions because guess what? Questions causes us to think. And many times people don't want to stop and think, or they just don't want to hurt their head, whatever they may say, because they don't want to be asked questions. So again, as a leader, as a team leader, if you're not asking your team's question, you're not empowering them to think. They're gonna always be relying on you, right? So a situation happened for you or the team, or they say, "Oh my God, what are we going to do now?" Instead of saying, "What opportunities lies here? What can we learn here? What if we do this here?" Asking questions open up so much possibilities, right? So help it will help you especially think and act in uncertainty by asking yourself questions. Instead of saying, why don't somebody do something about whatever it is bothering you? What if you say, what if I can do, and you fill in the blank? What if we did it this way? What if this happened? And that is where your mind will start creating solutions. But if you don't ask the right questions, you won't get the right answers. So asking question, be curious, challenge yourself, challenge your team. Some of us, when situation happen and we can't think it through, when we can't ask the right question to find a solution, we shut down, right? And challenge your brain here today. Something happened. Okay. What did I learn? All questions, right? What if I had done this instead? What would have happened if I didn't do this? I just change the question and answer it. Big aspect of it. Sometimes we do ask ourselves the question, however, we do not answer it. It's just thrown out there and it's left there. But stop and answer the question that is in your mind right now and that you're asking yourself. Stop and answer it. Answer it and then formulate the next question until you can get somewhere. I always challenge my team, and I'm requesting or recommending for you also do this with your team to help them start developing more critical thinking. For yourself too. There's a situation, come up with at least three solutions. Don't stop at one. There must be at least three solutions to that situation. And then think of out of the three, what is number one thing that out of the three that you would like to go and test, right? Which one might be the best in your eyes? Start asking your team also to do the same. If they come into you all the time with their problems or this, ask them, what are three things you think that can be done in this situation? And help them to start critically thinking, pushing them to think beyond, think of how to solve problems. And what you're going to be doing for them is that you're helping them to actually solve their own problems too in their personal life. That they're, what, let me apply this to myself too. What can I do here? What have I learned? What am I going to do differently next time? What is the gap between here? What do I need to do to close this gap? All the questions that is going to help you to shift and move from where you're at right now. Stop giving people answers and start asking them more questions. Push it so that their brains start thinking. I really, honestly, personally believe that we need to start asking more questions. in our workplaces, start asking more questions. Sadly, many of the interviews I've done with public sector employees, and I'm saying this is what I heard with my own ears, is that they're they're not taught how to ask questions. In fact, when they're asked why they do certain things or can we do it this way, they're always shut down and say that, or they were shut down and said that this is how we always do it. Just go about doing it this way. I'm not saying things people should come and upturn your whole organization. I'm saying that be open to hear also. Be open to see where somebody might not understand why you do things that way. And take the time to invest in helping them to understand. But don't shut them down when they ask a question, right? When you ask the question, you get to learn something or you get to also teach something. But be open up. And I find that many public sector employees coming into a private sector environment is having a hard time adjusting to that environment of what it entails. And so it's for you. How can you personally start developing your curiosity? Don't allow others to kill that curiosity in you. That is what is going to fuel you to learn and keep learning, keep coming up with solutions to problems and solving things, even challenging yourself to go do something that you might not even thought that you were capable of doing. What if there's so many inventions that are out there of people who ask the question, what if I can come up with a solution for this? And they went and create and innovate, and we are experiencing all of those things that they would have created because they asked the question. So what is it for you today that you need to ask yourself? Where are you going to start? And just answer the question. Stop and answer the question. Don't put it off. Don't get shut down when the question seems like I don't know where to go. Just one thing, then okay, what is something else? What else? What else? And just keep innovating. Maybe brainstorm with a team. Allow people to question you. Okay, so go about challenging yourself to come up with many questions. Start with the questions, not the answers. Start with the question. What are questions you can start asking yourself today? Why are you where you're at today? Why are you not 10 times better? Ask yourself and answer it. Don't just ask it, answer it. And then you will start seeing, a story revealing for yourself here of what you need to go do. So start there. Ask yourself questions. Take care and see you in the next video.